Makes no sense why Nintendo wouldn't want to give more support to their biggest fans, allowing them to have flourishing competitive scenes, just like Blizzard, Activision, or Riot Games.
So it's hard to tell what exactly this is going to look like going forward.
I'm on the community, and it's really sad what happened to him, and it's like, you're just going to shut down these Joy-Cons that are made in memory of him, because what? Like, what? I don't even understand.
Go out of their way to do things that, once again, just completely baffle me and confuse me on why they would come to the conclusions that they do.
Spoke to people. They've already done it. Like, you can understand on a surface level if this was something that, you know, was just too difficult to pull off. Like,
new players. This tournament is still going to happen, but the stream is not going to happen. So it still hurts.
What's up, guys? It's MLock5 and welcome back to another video. Drop a like, please, because this is like the third time I went over this. You don't have to if you don't want to. You know, no pressure, no problem. Basically, I'm just going to start off by saying that Nintendo, the entire community, Nintendo's just like pissed off the entire Nintendo community. And I'm going to explain why, because I was looking at these videos and they're very vague. So if you're confused, watch this video through to the end, because I will clear up any confusion that you might have. The first thing that you need to know going into this is that everybody is pissed off at Nintendo. Even Birdman's son made a video. If you don't know who Birdman's son is, he's Optimus. Even he made a video explaining how Nintendo's a scumbag company. And I mean, after you hear what I'm going to say in this video, I mean, that's kind of a fair claim. Let me start off by saying this. Nintendo did three main things, and this video would be extremely disingenuous if I didn't say this right off the bat. I don't care what they did, to the extent of the effects of what they did. The three things that they did does not affect me in any way, shape, or form. And I think that's the case for a lot of people. It's just the cause, right? I don't care about the effect. I care about the cause. Why Nintendo decided to do these things is why everybody is upset, why we have a real problem. And also, the other reason why I wanted to make this video is because I'm planning on making a Nintendo Switch video, just a video regarding Nintendo in January of next year. And at this point, I feel as though I can't really do that without making this video first. Let's just get something out of the way. Nintendo makes probably the best video games on the planet. Sony and Microsoft really don't have anything in terms of games on Nintendo. I feel like we can all agree, unless you are like literally brain dead, Nintendo puts out the best video games on the planet. This year specifically, we have Animal Crossing, which is a first-party game that is only for the Nintendo Switch, $60 in the midst of a pandemic, and the game has been out for less than a year. It came out in March, so literally like 9 months, and that has 20 million copies sold on the Switch. That is extremely impressive. Recently, Nintendo just came out with Age of Calamity, which is like a spin-off of Breath of the Wild, which got awarded Game of the Year for 2017, which is the year that came out. In my personal opinion, it's the best game that has ever released. It's debatable, I know, but that's just my opinion. But it's definitely within the top 10 games of all time in terms of quality. Basically, the takeaways here is that Nintendo pretty much makes the best games on Earth, right? They are a pretty well-respected company, a loved company, right? So you would think that Nintendo is pretty much like invincible to controversies, put out some of the best games. It literally does what it does the best, okay, out of anybody. You would think that they'd stay out of trouble, but apparently not. Apparently not. In the midst of a pandemic, and when Microsoft and Sony drops two major displays of competition, that being the PS5 and the Xbox Series, you would think Nintendo was on their best behavior, but apparently not. So what exactly did they do? Well, three things, like I stated. We're going to get into them right now. Number one, Joy-Con boys. So, if you guys don't know, Etika, he originally rose to fame after he created like this fake Nintendo Switch early video. Apparently, he got a Nintendo Switch early, and he was in his underwear. He was hyped, and he was showing it to the screen. Turns out it was fake. I mean, it was pretty apparent through the video. But, I mean, that clip came out, like, I believe a few months before, if I remember correctly. Just a few months before the Nintendo Switch released. It elevated him to fame, and he turned into like this prominent Nintendo Switch hype beast, you know? Unfortunately, he had some underlying mental health issues, and it led him down a dark path, and he eventually committed suicide. Not only was it a sad loss to the Nintendo community and Atticus fans, I mean, it was just a very tragic loss in general. So this third-party company that makes Joy-Cons, they decided to make a Joy-Con not only in commemoration of Etika, but to spread mental health awareness and suicide prevention awareness. Basically, they made these Joy-Cons, which had Joy-Con boys. If you guys don't know Joy-Con boys, it was basically this thing that Etika would say, and it turned into a group. And, you know, I was actually a part of that group. I would actually throw up Joy-Con boys to the intro of every video that I made. This was back in the day, maybe 3 years ago. But, yeah, it was kind of like a group, and they decided to put that on some Joy-Cons. What does Nintendo do? They send a cease and desist notice out to the people who are making this Joy-Con. Now, for those of you who don't know what a cease and desist notice is, it's basically a notice that is designed to preempt any legal action ensued as far as copyright goes. So basically, it's like a warning: stop doing this or else we will take you to court. They literally had to stop production. And why did they do that? Why? I don't know. I don't know if this like new Nintendo president is like sniffing cocaine, but I literally don't know. You have like one of the most prominent Nintendo figures, Nintendo fans, and someone who literally built an entire community, right? Who tragically passed away. You have a company that tries to commemorate them by making Joy-Cons, and you send a cease and desist notice out to them. You know what? I think the real problem is that this company was going to make Joy-Cons that didn't drift. I really feel like the Joy-Con logo had nothing to do with it. I just feel like that they fixed the Joy-Con drift issue in those Joy-Cons, and then Nintendo was like, nope, fuck that. It's number 2. Super Smash Melee, if you don't know, it's apparently the best Smash Bros game that to ever release. I really don't care for Smash, to be honest. Basically, they host these tournaments. It's a GameCube game, so it's pretty old, and you won't find it on any of the new consoles. Therefore, you have a bunch of people that actually get together in like this, like a LAN event, right? You have people that are physically there, playing the game and competing, right? But, you know, something called COVID-19 came up this year, and, you know, everybody has to social distance. Our second wave in America just hit. We are taking, as a country, I guess, or state by state, whatever, extra measures to keep people safe in the midst of this pandemic. So, obviously, people can't join in unison in a LAN event and compete in person. So there was an emulator called Ziffy. I don't know, but it was basically a mod that was put in Super Smash Melee for the GameCube, which allowed the game to be played online, right? Very, very smart alternative because it's on the GameCube. It obviously didn't have online capabilities during the time, but yeah, this would surely save the tournament, and you know, Nintendo fans can keep a tradition, a yearly tradition, going because of this. Now, I guess Nintendo didn't like the ethics, and they sent a cease and desist notice out to them, to the people running the tournament too. So they obviously had to stop. They couldn't run the tournament, and Nintendo basically shut down the Super Smash Melee tournament for, let's just face it, no reason. Because you can play online multiplayer on Super Smash Melee. Something that, one, should have been already accommodated on the GameCube version of the game. I mean, let's be for real. And two, something that doesn't Nintendo Switch have, like, allow you to run older Nintendo games if you get Nintendo Switch Online? You know, that should be on the Nintendo Switch Online app, and you should be able to play online multiplayer. That's just basic, Nintendo. Come on. So basically, the people that are doing what Nintendo should have been doing in the first place did that thing, and Nintendo got mad and they shut down an entire tournament. And now the third thing, Splatoon 2 had an upcoming North American Open, right? An NA Open tournament. And the competitors in that tournament, you know, we're a Nintendo family, I guess. So, you know, we got to stand by each other. They were clear. Nintendo was clearly in the wrong by shutting down the Super Smash Melee tournament. So Nintendo competitors for the Splatoon 2 tournament, the upcoming Splatoon 2 tournament, they decided to say like hashtag free Melee. They started this movement online, and some even opted out of the tournament. So Nintendo sees this, and then they cancel the broadcasting of the Splatoon 2 NA tournament. Wow. For one of the largest companies in the world, definitely the company that does what it does best, you know, that is like some childish shit, like, to be completely honest. That's like something like a moderate, like a fucking Zoom host, a Discord moderator would do. Like, oh, you're saying something I don't like? Okay, I'm just going to ban you from this call. Have a nice day. All right, awesome. Like, what? You're a multi-billion-dollar organization, a company, and we're stooping down to this level. Personally, I think Nintendo should make a public apology, not like a tweet on their Twitter. I feel like they should go on the YouTube, yeah, alongside with some tweets, for sure. Yeah, they should go on, make a in-person video apologizing, and they should host their own tournaments. They should come out with Joy-Cons that say Joy-Con Boys, and they should host a Super Smash Melee tournament, and then they should host a Splatoon 2 NA tournament, after which they come out on all of their social media platforms and apologize for whatever reason that they decided to go about with these actions. These decisions made by Nintendo just shed a light on the huge picture of Nintendo. I mean, they might say that they're not really competing with PlayStation and Sony. Age of Calamity wouldn't have come out mysteriously close to the same time that Microsoft's Xbox Series X and Sony's PlayStation 5 has come out. Reggie Fils-Aimé got his fat ass out there and stood next to the CEO of Microsoft and the CEO of Sony, in the gaming department at least. He stood by them and said that the console wars are over and that we will help to create games. That means that they were competing with each other in the first place. Don't let anything they say fool you, okay? So now that we know that that statement wasn't the case, or that they're competing with smartphones, I mean, nigga, you're not competing with smartphones. You're a gaming console. Just because your console happens to be hybrid does not mean you're competing with Samsung and Apple. That's just like, come on. No, like, who are you fooling? Let's just be honest. It's literally innovation that Nintendo's sole purpose is, you know? And they claim that they don't care about power. They don't care about... Well, you need to, all right? We're in a day and age where 4K TVs are prevalent, you know? The Nintendo Switch, you can't stream off of the Nintendo Switch. There isn't, like, you know, on the... on every other console you can stream to YouTube or Twitch. You can't on the Nintendo Switch. They don't even have a proper, like, partying system or voice chat system. I mean, Nintendo is just, like, disgustingly out of touch at this point. I hate to use the word disgusting because it makes me sound like I'm, like, offended that they had something. But, I mean, really, it's just, like, at this point, it's insane. So, the Wii U was a massive failure, and I get that the Switch might be underpowered because it had to come back from the Wii U. The Switch has generated a lot of money for Nintendo and a lot of media presence for Nintendo, right? You did not see people talking about the Wii U the way people were talking about the Switch. People were talking about the Xbox. People were talking about the PS4, you know? So Nintendo finally dug themselves up out of the ground, like I said in one of my previous videos. Will they listen? What will they do? Now, I already said in this video the actions that I think that they need to take. If you guys enjoyed the video, let me know. Love you guys. Catch you next time.